Hello everyone, welcome to this session on sentiment analysis using Amazon Aurora machine learning integration. So today we are going to talk about how you can make use of simple SQL to do sentiment analysis on your data stored in your database without any machine learning expertise. We will also see how you can add machine learning capabilities directly to your application using the enhancements that we have added in our database. I am Suman Devnath, a principal developer advocate here at AWS, and I'm super excited to share all of this today with you. If you have any questions at any point in time, please feel free to ask them. We will be very happy to help you. It is a known fact that these days we see machine learning almost everywhere in our day-to-day life. And when we talk about machine learning or think about what type of data does machine learning usually run on, we generally think of these. The first thing that come to our mind are things like running ML algorithms on text to perform some text analysis like sentiment analysis, text summarization, and so on. Next, images. These days, you can use machine learning algorithms which can help you to predict if a particular object or a set of objects are present in a given image or not. Similarly, videos, where you can use a ML algorithm to find things in a particular video. And finally, data stored in a traditional tabular row column format that sits in relational database, where you can use machine learning to predict things like customer churn, fraud detection, and so on. And these are few of the types of data where we typically see machine learning algorithms run on to solve some business problem, but there are many more outside this. But today, we are going to focus on the data which are located in relational database. As we all know, a lot of corporate data sits in these relational databases. So the question is how we can make use of that data so that you can add prediction capabilities to your application. So if you try to integrate a machine learning application with a relational database, you would typically see the process is not that simple. It had lots of manual steps. Step 1 is to select and train a machine learning model. Step 2 is to write a application code to read the data from the database. Step 3 is to format the data for the machine learning model. Step 4 is to call the machine learning service to run the machine learning model on the formatted data. Step 5 would be to format the output for the application. And finally, step 6, which is to load the application with the newly arrived insights. So that's quite a long process and typically ends up being done offline in a data scientist desktop or laptop because it's very hard to integrate all of this together. So in 2019, we launched this capability in our Aurora database, and I'll be talking a little bit about Aurora in a while. But what it allows you to do is to make machine learning predictions on your relational data. It does that by calling existing machine learning services that are already available at AWS. So in AWS, as you might have noticed, we have lots of machine learning services that are available in the cloud. And in this case of relational data, we are using two of them. First, Amazon SageMaker, which is a machine learning service which allows you to build, train, and deploy ML models at scale with different algorithms. And the second one is Amazon Comprehend, which is specifically used for natural language processing or NLP tasks, meaning it looks at a text that people are saying in natural language and it tries to fetch some meaningful information out of that. And the best thing about Aurora machine learning is that it uses familiar SQL statements. And you really do not need to know anything about machine learning, or you do not need to have a machine learning expertise. Not only that, it's low latency and immediate, as we have done a lot of performance optimization to optimize the communication or the networking between the Aurora database and these machine learning services. And of course, we added proper security so that not everybody can go and look at your data. So this integration of machine learning with Aurora actually makes this 6 steps process to 3 steps or lower. Now with Aurora ML, this process can be done using simple SQL in 3 steps, where the first one is obviously doesn't change. If you need to create a model or you know to train the model, then you need to do it here. Having said that, for Comprehend, you do not even have to do that, which we are going to see in a live demo in a while. So that's going to be step 1. The second step is to run a SQL query to invoke the machine learning service. So whether you are using SageMaker or Comprehend, all you have to do is just write one single SQL statement. And we will see all of this in a moment in a demo section. And we are also going to see how these SQL statements might look like. And this is the step which eliminates the need of all the heavy lifting tasks which we have seen a while back, like formatting the data, changing the order of the columns, and so on. And finally, in third step, you can use the result in the way that you want in your application. That's it. It's really that simple. Okay, so with that, let's spend a little bit of time talking about Aurora database. So Amazon Aurora is a relational database that runs in the cloud on AWS, and it is compatible with 2 open source databases, MySQL and Postgres. It combines the performance and availability of traditional enterprise databases with the simplicity and cost effectiveness of open source database. As you may know, we have quite a comprehensive set of services when it comes to machine learning, which at a macro level falls into these 3 different layers, as you can see here. And when it comes to Aurora ML integration, we support 2 of these services, which we have just learned, Amazon SageMaker and Amazon Comprehend. And we are going to see some demo using Comprehend and SageMaker shortly. But before we dive into hands-on, let's look at few of the examples of algorithms that you might run. And what would the SQL statement look like? So the first one is finding fraudulent transactions. So imagine that somebody is buying something, let's say using a credit card, and you want to look at fraudulent transactions. So what you might do is create a database trigger which it runs before actually adding that transaction to your table of approved transactions. And you might have a function called isTransactionFraudulent, which would be a function that you know in your MySQL or Postgres database. And if it returns true, then you roll back that transaction and mark that transaction as fraudulent. And otherwise, you commit the transaction successfully. Second example, which we see here, uses comprehend service, which looks for negative sentiment in a given piece of text. Let's assume that you have product reviews in your Aurora database. And what you can simply do is call this SQL function AWS comprehend detect sentiment, which can predict if a review has a positive or a negative sentiment. And lastly, imagine that you are running some kind of sales or marketing campaign, and you're looking for customers who are likely to be a big spender in the future. So this is a classification problem where the task is to classify your customers into two categories: lower spenders and higher spenders. And you might have a function called predicted future spend, which looks at the customer order table that you already have, and you can select the one which are predicted to be future big spenders. All right, let's jump into the demo and see all of it in action. So I have already logged into my AWS account and I am inside the RDS console. As you can see, the Aurora cluster is already spun up and ready to go. So the first step which we need to do is to create the IAM policy and the role so that the Aurora service and the machine learning services can talk to each other. So to do that, we are going to go down to the Connectivity and Security tab and then scroll down to the area that's labeled as Managed IAM Roles and select a service to connect to this cluster. And then from the drop down, we should select Amazon Comprehend and then click on Connect Service. But I'm not going to do that. As you can see, I have already added the role below. Not only Amazon Comprehend, but we have also added the role for Amazon SageMaker, as we are going to do a demo with SageMaker as well, wherein we will call a ML model endpoint which is hosted using SageMaker. But before we go ahead, let me quickly show you what this role is doing in the backend. And to do that, let's open the IAM console and look up for this role. Let's click on the name and then expand the policy that's attached to this role. If you see the policy, it does two things. It allows the Comprehend service detect sentiment and bash detect sentiment APIs to be called on behalf of the RDS service. Let's look at the trust relationship. If you see right here, the other thing that this role is doing is to allow the RDS service to talk to the Comprehend service. So these are the only two things that this role is doing. Now let's move to step 2. Step 2 is to configure the parameter groups so that appropriate IAM role is present in our parameters. So to do that, we are going to go to the configuration tab and then scroll down and look for cluster parameter group. we are going to click on this cluster parameter group, which opens it up in a new tab. In the parameter group, we are going to look at comprehend parameter. And as we can see, the parameter is already updated with the right IAM role, which we have seen a while back. A parameter group actually gives us ways to define specific ways that can change the behavior of the Aurora cluster from the default behavior. In this case, we are going to just change the comprehend and the SageMaker parameter so that it knows exactly which IAM role to use. And as you can see, I have already updated the comprehend parameter and the SageMaker parameters. Okay, so the first two steps were the configuration. Now comes the fun part, which is to run the actual commands and do the sentiment analysis and see the results ourselves. First, we need to make sure that our Aurora MySQL is running on the proper version. And we will do that by simply running this query, which makes sure that we are running the proper version. As we can see, in this case, it's using 2.07.2. So if you are running with anything above 2.07.0, you should be able to use the machine learning integration with our Aurora MySQL. Now, what we are going to do is to use a database called MyAuroraDB, which I have already created beforehand. But you can create a new database or use the one that you already have and then create a table inside that. So for this demo for sentiment analysis, we are going to create this table called comments, which is going to have two columns, comment ID and comment text. And as you can see, few of the comments has a positive sentiment and few of them have a negative sentiment. Like the first one, this is a great product and I highly recommend, is obviously a positive comment. In your case, you may already have a database and already have a table that has comment or text values that you want to do sentiment analysis on. Next, let's insert some comments in this table. So as humans, we have the intuition and we were able to understand what these comments mean. But for a database or for a machine to understand this, it's a little more difficult, especially for a SQL or a relational database. So let's see how this integration with comprehend and the machine learning stack can actually solve this problem for you. So to do that, we are going to use a built-in function called Amazon Comprehends detect sentiment and detect sentiment confidence. So if you have used any Amazon machine learning stack services, you would know that when we do any sort of prediction, you have a result and then you have a confidence related to that result. The confidence level is where the algorithm is telling you how confident it is in the prediction that it has provided. Also, I want to spend a quick minute here talking about the function itself. The function takes essentially two values. As the first parameter, it takes the comment itself, and the second value is the language. In this case, we are using English, but there are several other languages like French and so on are supported. And there is a third value that I'm not showing here, but we will discuss in a second, which is the size of the batch. By default, the comprehend service tries to batch as many rows as possible to get the best performance. And we will talk about that in a second. Having said that, let's run this function and run this query and see the results. So if you see the results here, we get the values. First is the prediction of the sentiment, if it's positive, negative, or mixed. And then the second one is the confidence. So it's as simple as this. You can get the sentiment on your text by using this single SQL query. Next, we are going to talk a little bit about the performance and the built-in performance enhancement that we have implemented to this algorithm. So let's look at the query plan for this statement that we just passed. If you look at the explain query plan, you would see that under the extra column, you see batch machine learning, which means we are batching all of these comments for you. So to actually demonstrate the performance enhancement, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off batching, and then I'm going to turn on batching again, and then we are going to see the difference between the batched and non-batched performance. So to turn the batching off, if you remember, we talked about the third parameter, which is the size of the batch. If I set the size of the batch to 1, it essentially sends one row at a time. That means we are running the query with batching off. So let me run the exact same query with batching turned on. That is, run the query without any batch parameter. So now we can look at the query time for the last two queries in the output. And as we can see, the last query, which was executed with batching on, performed much faster than the previous one with batching off. So now that we looked at the demo for sentiment analysis using Aurora ML integration with Comprehend, let's switch to another demo wherein we will see Aurora integration with Amazon SageMaker. So to do that, the first thing we need to do is to add the IAM role to our Aurora database, as we have done for Comprehend, which we have seen a while back. So let's go back to the console and do the same. As we have seen before, we need to select a service to connect this cluster and select Amazon SageMaker from the drop-down and click on Connect Service. And as you can see here, this is the place where we need to provide the ARN of the Amazon SageMaker endpoint. So for this demo, I have already trained a model and added the ARN. And to show you the ARN, we can go to the IAM console and open this role. So let's do that. As you can see, this is the model endpoint ARN which we are going to use for prediction from this Aurora database. Lastly, as part of the configuration, we need to update the parameter group with this IAM role, which we have already seen before while configuring the parameter groups for Comprehend. So at this point, we are done with all the configuration tasks. Endpoint is defined, IAM role is created, and the parameter group is updated. So let's go to our Datagrip console and see it all in action. Here we can see a table called customers, which I have already created beforehand. And I'm going to spend a couple of minutes talking about the use case and how this machine learning algorithm is trained, so the rest of the demo makes sense. This is the test data which we have loaded in this database, and the similar data is used to train the machine learning model over them. If you look at this second row that's highlighted, the observation is that this customer was in New York State, their account length is 142 days, their area code was 778, they did have an international plan but did not have a voice plan, and it also goes ahead and does some observations like how much time they spend during the daytime on a call, and other things like how much time did they spend doing nighttime on a call, and so on. Now, since it's the test data, we have, as we can see in this table, it doesn't have an extra column called churn, which we had in the training data, which was used to train the machine learning model using Amazon SageMaker. And what that churn could be is true or false. If the churn is false, that means the customer did not leave the service. If the churn says true, it means the customer actually left the service and went to some other telecom company. And this is exactly what we are going to predict using the SageMaker endpoint for all the data points which we have in this Aurora database here, as we can see. So before we actually move on to make any prediction, I want to show you the function definition. If you look at the function body, it's fairly straightforward. It's just a standard SQL. We are creating a function called willChurn, and we are saying this function expects these parameters and these data types. And here is the important part. The clause we are using is the alias clause, and then we are calling AWS SageMaker invoking endpoint. So what we are saying here is this function is essentially accepting all of these parameters, and it's just a wrapper for invoking this endpoint. Now we can actually create a new table called customers churn, which will have all the columns of customer table. Along with that, it will also have a new column called willChurn, whose value will be calculated based on the prediction of the SageMaker model. And that prediction we are getting via the willChurn function, which we had just created. So let's go ahead and create the table. Now we can see few of the rows of this newly created table. And as you can see here, it got a new column called willChurn, which contains all the churn details for all the customers present in this table. Also, we can see the total number of customers based on churn prediction. So as we can see, how easy it is to get started with Aurora ML integration with Amazon Comprehend and Amazon SageMaker. Alright, I hope this session was useful and you got some insights about how you can leverage machine learning capabilities directly from your relational database using Aurora ML integration with Amazon Comprehend and Amazon SageMaker. If you want to learn more about data, database, analytics, and machine learning, please visit our resources hub, as you can see here, where you will find many new resources which can help you to jumpstart your data journey on AWS. You can also look at few of the digital trainings which we have under the data engineering and data analytics track, and may get AWS Specialist certified for data analytics. And also, you may like to have these ramp-up guides handy, which can help you to get started and go deep into new topics of your choice. Thank you once again for attending. Please do take time to fill up the feedback form so that we can better understand your requirements. We look forward to engaging with you